to the sea or to Egypt. This is ethnic cleansing besides the genocide that is conducted.
Okay.
Actually,
Right.
he's putting people in Gaza in front of one of two choices, either genocide or complete ethnic cleansing.
Okay, we'll come on to all of that. Omar, this concept of genocide, is that angle getting much airplay over the Atlantic in the United States, where you are?
Yeah, it's certainly a growing understanding, but not from the political class or from the White House. We have essentially blinders here in Congress and this administration, in which basically they're gaslighting the audience in contrast to what Israeli leaders themselves are saying. Now, I believe that Israeli leaders might pretend that the word genocide does not apply, but in terms of describing what they're doing, they have not been coy at all about the fact that their intent is to starve the entire population of Gaza, denying them water and food and electricity and so on, and saying that their bombing campaigns, they don't care much about accuracy, they just want to cause as much damage as possible. And we are seeing the results. So they are describing genocidal intent without using the word genocide. And this rhetoric about human shields and whatnot is quite rich, coming from a country, in the case of Israel, that as a matter of policy was using Palestinian children as human shields in multiple military raids throughout the Second Intifada, until the Israeli Supreme Court decided to ban that practice. They are the only party in the so-called conflict that have been documented to use Palestinian civilians as human shields. And in the case of Gaza, there's no question that their bombing is indiscriminate. It's been documented by every major human rights organization in the world, and it's basically been documented by the confessions of Israeli soldiers through a group called Breaking the Silence, describing the fact that they have targeted Palestinians indiscriminately without caring whether they're civilians or militants. So this entire narrative is simply nonsense.
All right, let's get to the nitty-gritty then. Jeffrey Nice, you're the legal expert. Let's get the legal definition. What constitutes genocide? What are the parameters of genocide?
So the definition of genocide is certain acts committed with intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial or religious group as such. It sounds quite simple, and it is quite simple. It means if you have an intention to destroy a group simply because of whom they are, and if with that intention you commit certain acts, one of which is killing, but there are 4 others, then you may have committed genocide. And as your first contributor correctly and accurately said, effectively you have to look for the mental state of the person who is alleged to have